I've got Patrick Hickey Jr. here of the Minds Behind the Games, Professor Extraordinaire, wrestling expert extraordinaire. Just got back from Pax East, had an amazing panel talking about wrestling and video games. I am a huge fan. I remember playing No Mercy. I believe it was on the PS2. Or was it the N64 back in the day? It was the N64 back in the day. Good times. Patrick Hickey Jr., how you doing?
I'm doing great, man. Thank you for having me.
It's my pleasure. My pleasure. So tell me a little bit about WrestleQuest and what it's doing that wrestling games have never done before.
So WrestleQuest is a turn-based RPG, very much in the vein of classic turn-based RPGs, the likes of Final Fantasy, Paper Mario, Dragon Quest, Pokemon, that manages to incorporate professional wrestling in a way that has never been done before. It's the first ever pro wrestling RPG. I like to tell people all the time, it is a game that is very much an RPG, and it never forgets that it's an RPG. But it also never forgets that it's a wrestling game as well. So even in the battle system, there's a pinning system within the battle system. You can use gimmicks in battles. It's very much, if you love professional wrestling, you will love this. If you love RPGs but have never been a fan of wrestling or never experienced wrestling, it will invite you into the world of professional wrestling like you've never been before. So much fun.
That's crazy. That sounds like a lot of fun. Wrestling games, there's a ton of them out there, and all of them kind of do a similar thing. It's a wrestling simulator. You hit the moves, you get the pin, maybe even cut a promo, but nothing quite like this. It seems it's a really cool twist. I've never seen it, so I want to ask, what exactly is your role in this game?
I am the principal voice actor on the game. I voice the number changes every day because we're just adding so much content and things like that. But I would say about 90 playable characters. Not 90 playable characters, about 90 characters in the game. There are 12 playable characters in the game, but 90 characters around I do the voices of.
That's awesome. That's
a lot
awesome.
of fun.
So who is your favorite character to voice act? Because I know there are some licensed characters in this game.
Yeah, there's 30 licensed characters, from Davey Boy Smith to Diamond Dallas Page, Jeff Jarrett, who's actually an executive producer on the game. I'm trying to think of who else. Like I said, there's over 30. The main licensed character, I would say, is the Macho Man Randy Savage. The Road Warriors are in the game. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, let me tell you something, Matt Hirsch. Those glasses around your eyes like you're a smart guy. Can you dig it?
So Macho Man is one of my favorite voices to do. I've done that voice I'm 38, so I've probably done that voice for about 30 years. Having to do it most of PAX wasn't enjoyable at times. I drank a lot of water. My throat got really crispy. I had a podcaster that wanted to do like dueling Macho Mans with me, which was interesting. Because that's the thing. It's one of those voices where like everyone thinks that they can do it well, and this guy did it well. But it's just like there's different styles of Macho Man. So there's like the very like gruff and fast speaking. There's like when he slows things down a little bit. So it's just like I'm able to do all of those. And his was just like in the slow, methodical Macho Man. So it's just like, that was interesting. So it's been a lot of fun. But yeah, to answer your question, definitely Macho Man. Now Macho Man is probably my favorite voice to do. Yeah.
Nice. We got about 2 minutes left. So real quick, tell me about PAX and that whole panel. What was that experience like?
I mean, I think as a video game historian, because I have books in Harvard, Yale, Stanford, UC Berkeley, I'm working on my 5th, 6th, and 7th books are being ready to be published like this year or next year. Just to be a video game historian and be at PAX is huge. But then to talk about wrestling games is huge too, because there's over 300 wrestling games ever created. I probably own around 150. And then to share the stage with James Deegan and Zach Manco, two amazing developers at MegaCat, and with the WWE Hall of Famer and Jeff Jarrett, who was beyond gracious in the 3 days that we spent with him, just being able to pick his brain about pro wrestling and to introduce him to video games. I think that was like one of the big reasons why like I was around, to like really like ease him into the world of video games and let him understand that like we appreciated and loved his world too. So yeah, it was just a life-changing experience.
I can totally imagine. We got about 40 seconds left. Why don't you shout yourself out real quick? What are you doing? What do you got coming up?
So again, my name is Patrick Hickey Jr. I am the author of the Minds Behind the Games book series. I'm also the editor-in-chief and co-founder of Legacy Comics. I'm a comic book writer as well, and I am a voice actor. I am currently working on WrestleQuest and World Championship Boxing Manager and BPM Boy. Those are my next 3 big games that are coming out. I do pretty much all the voices for World Championship Boxing Manager and WrestleQuest, and in BPM Boy, I play the main villain in the game, DJ Get Busy. So lots of fun coming. 3 more books, 3 more games, and so much more. PatrickHickeyJr.com, at Patrick Hickey Jr. on Instagram. Go there now.
Follow him.